"17-year-old Gabe Meyer is dropped off at the local gym by his father. It would be the last time he would see his son.
We knew straight away that there was something terribly wrong, that he couldn't get to us.
His disappearance would take detectives into crocodile-infested waters, into the depths of cane fields and rainforests.
In 21 years, I've probably never had to experience anything so emotional.
And into a world of distorted reality and deadly lies.
He wrote me almost every day.
He showed us what appeared to be a newly dug grave.
All of us were just stunned. It was something out of a horror movie.
This was a planned, calculated murder.
It was like a challenge to him. He was enjoying every minute of it.
But he made a very basic error.
And hopefully that piece of the jigsaw would fit into the puzzle at a later time.
Sherry and Doug Meyer had left their hometown of Miami in the United States to escape the growing crime. Now, halfway around the world, it seemed fate had caught up with them. One of their 6 children was missing.
I started noticing at about 7:30 that he wasn't home, and he never missed dinner and would always give us a call to let us know where he was. I asked Doug to call the hospital just to make sure that he hadn't had an accident or anything. The hospital hadn't heard anything, and we thought, well, it's a bit silly, 17, we shouldn't worry so much. He's probably found a mate, he's probably gone to somebody's house or something like that. And we just sort of dozed fitfully, and I kept getting up and going to check his room to see if he'd come home. And it was about 4:30 or 5 in the morning. We just got up and started to work out what we were going to do, who to call, where to go, because we knew something was terribly wrong.
We decided, you know, what's the logical thing to do? First find his friends and see what happens. So we got in the car and drove down toward Damon Calanca's house.
Damon Calanca was a mate of Gabe's and had been there when Doug Meyer dropped his son off at the gym.
We walk up the steps to Damon Calanca's flat. The door's already open. He comes out and meets us. Go, "Damon, have you seen Gabe?" Yes, after he left the gym. He came over here to the flat. He was reading some girly magazines. Said he was going out to swim.
Okay, see ya.
Doug Meyer came to the police station to report his son Gabe missing. He had 2 of his friends with him, and they said they didn't know where Gabe was. Gabe had left Damon Calanca's house in the afternoon to go for a swim at the ski ramp in the Johnston River. And Doug said this was quite unusual because Gabe didn't normally swim in the river.
He knew about crocodiles. He knew that you don't swim in the evening especially. The weather was bad, it was raining. It's just not something that Gabe would have done.
At that point, I spoke to both of the friends and asked their thoughts in relation to Gabe, and they said it was unusual. They also indicated that there was no trouble at home, so it seemed a bit unusual that he hadn't returned home, and not a normal case of a kid staying away overnight, partying or something like that.
All we knew was that we had a missing person and that we had to cover all avenues. So we basically had to track down and speak to as many people as possible that may have seen Gabe and maybe provide information as to his movements. So basically our initial inquiries started at the gymnasium where Doug had dropped Gabe off. We did speak to some people who confirmed that Gabe had been attending the gym and that Gabriel left the gymnasium at approximately 4:30 p.m. The next step was to ascertain if in fact Gabe had gone to the river.
There was concern that Gabriel had gone swimming, that he may have drowned or been taken by a crocodile or something of that nature.
If a human had been taken by a crocodile, we would certainly hope to find remains. It is my understanding that crocodiles do lodge the remains of victims within mangroves. As a consequence of this, we did in fact conduct searches of the Johnston River with the Department of Wildlife and local crocodile experts, and there was no signs located at all.
Again, another option was the fact that he may have simply run away. We canvassed that possibility with his parents, we canvassed that possibility with his friends.
We just told him basically that he was a kid that, you know, would never give us any trouble at all. He'd been through a lot of experiences in his life that had really matured him. He was such a likable kid. Always had been ever since he was little, just a lovely boy that was just really responsible for his age. And that's, I guess, why we knew straight away that there was something terribly wrong, that he couldn't get to us, because he would definitely do that. He would not worry us.
Other avenues of basic investigation include the tracing of Gabe's bank accounts to see if any withdrawals had been obtained from any branch anywhere in Australia. It included inquiries with the various public transports, airlines, coach services and the Queensland Rail to see if we had any traces. And all inquiries made with the transport companies proved negative. We had no sign of Gabe at all, and likewise with his bank accounts, they had not been touched. The alarm bells were starting to ring a little louder.
Douglas and Shirley Mayer are sick with worry. Their son Gabe was due home for dinner on Tuesday night but never arrived, something they say is completely out of character.
Gabe's the kind of guy that wouldn't miss a meal in the evening. If he was not going to be there, he would
Do home at
let us know.
Police have scoured nearby streets and the Johnson River. They're treating Gabe's disappearance as suspicious.
Oh, we're quite concerned for his safety. We feel there may be suspicious circumstances that surround his disappearance.
As for Gabe's parents, they've just got one plea if their son is watching this program.
Just give us a call.
And that
That's it. We love you, Gabe.
we love him so much, and that all the kids miss him, and we just want to know he's safe.
The last person to see Gabe was Damon Calanca.
He said, now look, make sure you tell the police this, that if they want to know anything, I'm over there. They know where I live. They just come and talk to me. I'll tell them all about what I know.
I asked Damon Calanca to accompany us to the police station if he was willing to take part in an interview.
So just get a little bit of background first. How did you know the Gabriel life? I was going with his sister, Helen. I met her, and she went to America. And family got really close to me. And her brother comes to the gym, and I see him at the gym all the time. And I've been just a close friend from at the gym.
I met him at the gym. He started to say hello to me all of the time and compliment me and ask me how I was doing, and he would start conversations and things like that. He was a really friendly guy, quite charming, and we started to date from there.
She was leaving in 3 weeks to go to America to university. He was devastated that she was leaving. So we told Fawn, well, look, tell him he can come over for Christmas, and he came over that day.
And they invited me over for Christmas, and they really close to me and my family. But I only know him through the gym.
He outlined to me how he'd been to the gym the previous afternoon, how he'd met Gabe Meyer, how he'd had a workout with him. Gabriel attended his unit later on, and Gabriel left shortly thereafter, telling Damon Calanca that he was going swimming. I also asked him about his movements that night, and he explained to me how he had hired a utility and was taking a roll of carpet to his sister's place in Tully.
And I got halfway out the and started to come down. So I turned around, he hadn't got any back, I didn't think it was in the phone. So I turned around and came home. Really started.
We had a look at the carpet that he was allegedly taking to his sister in Tully. It was laid out flat, and appeared to be a very, very poor condition.